let's start with your lease. Your lease controls who's allowed to be in that unit. So use that as a tool. Start off with that. You got to use an industry standard lease that specifically says, hey, nobody other than who's listed here. The 2+1 rule is not a law. It's a rule of thumb. That's why it's called the rule. And it's a rule of thumb that varies. Housing says that it's basically 2 people per bedroom plus 1 for the common living area. But if you've got areas, for example, Los Angeles, where you have certain demographics that have larger families, then that rule is going to have a lot of flexibility built into it. Now, on top of that, you've got to layer the local ordinance. For example, the city of LA, their rent control ordinance says that the tenants are entitled to 1 additional adult occupant or a newborn child. The additional adult occupant, they're just entitled to it. So that even though your lease says you can't have anybody more than who's listed on the lease, they get 1 additional. You do have the right to screen that person. And if they don't meet your criteria, then you have the right to get rid of them. But they are entitled to 1 more. Going back to that 2+1 rule, many cities are starting to limit your ability to evict people for unauthorized occupants. And they'll put some parameters in there as long as it's a family member, as long as it's this. But I am seeing more cities limit it.